This is the E7v2 by Exclusive. There's a 7 underneath that, like the 7 gun. Here's the weight, looks pretty cool. Gasket 75% keyboard with PCB foam that's kind of required for the alignment. I think you can kind of finagle it without it, but the PCB foam has tabs on the outside to kind of hold it in place. Like the side mounting points or the gasket points, whatever, for boards is pretty important, because if you do it in a poor way, it ends up making it too stiff. So rather than having gasket points on the side and mounting points on the side, this has just using PCB foam to kind of keep it in place. Yeah, it's an aluminum plate, PCB foam, but no case foam. And the board has an interesting side profile. It just has a little bit of flair, some Primus vibes, some people might say. I really like the weight design, and I like the fact that it utilizes RGB. This board is currently built with Kiwis on aluminum and gasket. I'll show you how it looks plugged in. That's how it looks. The underglow doesn't peek out the side. It just kind of leaks on the top, which is a little unfortunate, but having a show off on the back is cool. The typing experience isn't bad. It's more flexible on the sides. But if you use case foam in this, it reduces too much flex. So the client decided, nah, no case foam. The build process was way nicer than other boards that we've seen, where if you have any grooves or gaskets, it apparently costs $1,000. The bezels here, this a little concerning that this bezel is thicker than here. This is very razor thin and doesn't match with this side. Why is the USB sticking out? Oh yeah, the USB is not that recessed. The USB kind of like lines up. So that's one thing. I don't think 75s often lead in the sound department, but they can have a fun typing experience. So the board is not bad. I haven't built with Kiwis a lot, and Kiwis do have a bit of leaf ping, unfortunately. The sound of this does kind of hide. Kage has an exposed protruding USB-C. This one has a flush USB-C. You typically want a recessed USB-C. Thanks to 458 before shipping extras. So I think 75s are, when you get a 75% keyboard, I don't think you should be looking for the best sound per se, but rather the aesthetic. So a lot of the 75s, because the layout is a little bit less standard, like a 60 is a 60, a TKL is a TKL, right? Those are pretty locked in. 65, you can do exploded arrows, exploded nav. 75s, you can have compact, you can have exploded one thing, exploded other things. You can have badges, logos, and LEDs in different places. So 75 is more like the most experimental of the layouts. Go with that route if you go for something aesthetic. Like this 75 has an OLED and a knob. There's a bunch of things that are very different with 75s. You can go with those. I personally like 60s more because I have very small desk space and it's just kind of function at that point. That's an E7v2. Let's go ahead and throw on keycaps into the Hex.4B. What you're hearing is the sound of Hex.4B. I'm just gonna wrap this up. I want to enjoy this outside. Okay, I just want to compare. This is a tactile build Kiwis on aluminum gasket mount. This is SB Stars on plateless with a O-ring mounting style. Ignore that. We're comparing these two. I just want to give you an idea of what the E7v2 sounds like. I want to give you an idea of what the Hex.4B sounds like, just so you can broaden your horizons and understand. Most of the time, it doesn't matter. Just get a keyboard and use it, and you'll be fine. $215 before shipping. E7v2. $458 plus shipping before extras. It sound like keyboards. This definitely looks better than this, but this definitely sounds pretty solid for what it is. It's honestly really hard for manufacturers to make bad keyboards. As long as you do your research and don't buy a GB board from some dude in their garage, you should probably be fine. If it's going through a trusted vendor, you should probably be fine. Do you need to upgrade your keyboard as you go? No, you can if you want to, but the reality is there are certain boards that hit certain price points. Like this Hex.4B is solid for the price. KD67 Lite, solid for the price. And the Keys for All offerings, I know I'm affiliated with them and they sponsor videos, but their boards are extremely solid for the price. And you can be very happy with just those keyboards. Do you need to buy every single thing? No. Like, I am very much planning on whittling everything down. But in terms of like my personal enjoyment, the boards I went out to look for to get, between the Unicorn and the Juby, I'm good. Now, if I didn't have the Unicorn, I get the Bakaneko. If I didn't have the Juby, there's some other 60 or 65 XT keyboards are coming out. Gion's selling one. Go with that. But aside from that, thank you for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you had fun.
Oh my god, somebody subscribe.
Thank you for the 10 months, Joe.